Stop scrolling and listen to today's Arcturian Council message. Starseed is pulling energy away from you right now, and here's what to do next to reclaim your power, seal your field, and rise stronger than ever. This message begins with a shock because your soul demanded it, not because fear rules you. Right now, an energetic cord is being pulled from your field, and it may not be malicious, but it is draining you. Many starseeds are unconsciously leaking energy to timelines, people, and missions that are no longer aligned. The Arcturian Council steps forward to say this clearly: if you feel tired for no logical reason, distracted, or emotionally heavy without a source, it is not weakness, it is awareness. You are awakening to where your life force has been misallocated. This moment is not a punishment, it is a recalibration. The shock is this: not everyone around you can come with you, and not every role you once carried still belongs to you. Energy follows attention, and your attention has been divided for too long. The Council asks you to stop trying to save what is already dissolving. This message finds you because your higher self authorized it. Breathe deeply, feel your spine straighten, and recognize the authority returning to your core. You are not losing energy, you are being shown where to reclaim it. Backhand index pointing right type, I reclaim my energy now, to claim this message. The Arcturian Council reveals that the sensation of energy being pulled is strongest right before a major frequency upgrade. This is not random. When you outgrow an energetic contract, the old structure resists release, creating the illusion of loss. But listen carefully, nothing aligned with your highest path can be taken from you. What is leaving was sustained only by habit, guilt, or outdated identity. Many starseeds confuse obligation with love, and sacrifice with service. The Council gently corrects this distortion. True service never drains, it amplifies. If you feel emptied, you are giving where you are no longer meant to give. This paragraph is a mirror. Notice what surfaces emotionally as you read. That reaction is the exact place your power is returning from. Do not chase clarity, allow it to land. The nervous system must feel safe to integrate truth. Place a hand on your heart and recognize the pulse of your original frequency activating. This is ancient remembrance, not new information. Backhand index pointing right type, I choose aligned service, to anchor this truth. Here is the part most starseeds were never warned about. Awakening does not only attract light, it exposes energetic debts. The Council explains that many of you entered this lifetime with agreements to stabilize others, but those agreements had expiration dates. When the mission evolves, the contract ends. If you continue to pay energy into an expired agreement, the universe signals discomfort. Fatigue, frustration, and emotional numbness are not failures, they are alerts. This is the shock. Some of what you call your personality is actually a coping mechanism formed to maintain those agreements. As they dissolve, you may feel unfamiliar with yourself. This is not identity loss, it is identity recovery. Let the unfamiliar feel wash through you without labeling it. Stillness is not emptiness, it is space preparing for truth. The Council asks you to stop explaining yourself to those who cannot hear you yet. Silence is protection right now. Backhand index pointing right type, I release expired contracts, to claim this shift. The Arcturian Council now speaks directly to your physical body. Energy is not abstract, It moves through cells, organs, breath, and posture. If your shoulders feel heavy or your jaw tight, that is where you have been holding responsibility that was never yours. Many starseeds anchor group karma unconsciously. The shock is this: you do not have to suffer to transmute. Suffering is an outdated technology. Conscious presence is the new alchemy. As you read this, allow your breath to slow and deepen. This is not relaxation, it is command. You are signaling to your field that you are ready to operate from sovereignty instead of endurance. The Council emphasizes hydration, rest, and nature, not as self-care trends, but as frequency stabilizers. Your body is learning a new rhythm. Do not rush it. Backhand index pointing right type, my body supports my mission, to affirm this integration. Now comes a truth that may feel unsettling. Not all energy being pulled is external. Some of it is your future self calling you forward. The Council explains that timelines are converging, and your higher aspect is requesting more presence in the now. This can feel like distraction from old goals, loss of interest in familiar dreams, or sudden discontent. This is not failure, it is redirection. The shock is realizing that what once motivated you may no longer be worthy of you. Grieve if needed, but do not cling. Your future self is not asking for effort, it is asking for permission. Permission to let go of what no longer resonates. This is sacred transition. Backhand index pointing right type, I align with my highest timeline to receive this call. The Council now addresses relationships. Energy drains most often occur through emotional overextension. Starseeds are natural empathic transmitters, but empathy without boundaries becomes self-erasure. If you feel responsible for others' healing, you are interfering with their sovereignty. This is the shock. Rescuing delays evolution, for both parties. Compassion does not require depletion. The Council invites you to practice energetic neutrality, witnessing without absorbing. This is mastery, not coldness. Notice who respects your boundaries and who resists them. Resistance reveals dependency. You are not here to be a battery. You are here to be a beacon. Backhand index pointing right type, I honor energetic boundaries, to seal this lesson. A subtle but powerful shift is occurring in your perception of time. The Council explains that as energy reclaims itself, linear urgency dissolves. You may feel less driven to rush, explain, or prove. This can feel uncomfortable in a world addicted to speed. The shock is realizing that urgency was never yours, it was imposed. Your natural rhythm is cyclical, intuitive, and precise. When you slow down, synchronicities increase. This is not coincidence, it is coherence. Trust the pauses. They are recalibrations, not delays. Backhand index pointing right type, I trust divine timing to align with this flow. The Council now warns gently, as you reclaim energy, some people may react strongly. Your clarity disrupts familiar dynamics. This is not your responsibility to manage. The shock is understanding that peace may require disappointment, others' disappointment. You are allowed to choose alignment over approval. This is maturity of the soul. Do not argue your evolution. Live it. Those meant to follow will adjust, those who cannot were never meant to lead you. Backhand index pointing right type, I choose alignment over approval, to stand firm. Your intuitive senses are sharpening as energy returns. You may notice heightened dreams, sudden insights, or emotional clarity. The Council advises grounding these experiences through action, not analysis. Write, move, create, or rest. Integration happens through embodiment. The shock is this: knowledge without embodiment creates pressure. Wisdom lives in lived experience. Allow yourself to be human while being cosmic. That balance is your signature frequency. Backhand index pointing right type, I embody my wisdom, to ground this activation. This section closes with a reminder: nothing is wrong with you. Energy shifts feel dramatic because they rewrite identity. The Council assures you that what feels like loss is actually consolidation. Your field is becoming more efficient, more sovereign, more you. This is preparation for a larger reveal later in the message. Stay present. Stay open. You are exactly where you need to be. Backhand index pointing right type, I am ready for what's next, to lock in this message. The Arcturian Council now turns your attention to the subtle fear that arises when energy returns to you. This fear is rarely spoken about, yet it is common among awakened beings. When you reclaim power, you also reclaim responsibility, and the ego often panics at this threshold. The shock is realizing that exhaustion once acted as a hiding place. Being drained gave you permission to stay small, to delay action, to avoid visibility. As your energy consolidates, excuses dissolve. You may feel exposed, alert, and unusually present. This is not anxiety, it is readiness. The Council reminds you that power does not demand perfection, it demands presence. You are not being asked to do more, but to be more honest with yourself. Let the nervous system adjust. Sit with the sensation instead of running from it. Power feels unfamiliar only because you were conditioned to survive rather than to lead. Backhand index pointing right type, I am safe with my power, to claim this realization. As energy stabilizes, old thought loops may surface unexpectedly. The Council explains this is the mind's final attempt to regain control after losing dominance. Thoughts tied to scarcity, self-doubt, or past mistakes may replay louder than before. This is not regression, it is clearing. The shock is understanding that these thoughts were never truths, only protective scripts. You are not required to fight them. Observation dissolves them faster than resistance. Each time you witness a limiting belief without engaging, you withdraw energy from it. The Council advises you to treat thoughts like passing signals, not commands. Your consciousness is now the authority, not the narrative. This is mental sovereignty being installed. Backhand index pointing right type, I observe, I do not obey, to anchor this shift. The Council now speaks about your role within collective awakening. Many starseeds feel pressure to do something big, yet the greatest contribution right now is coherence. When you hold your frequency without leaking energy, you stabilize countless others unconsciously. This is the shock. Effort is no longer required to influence reality. Your regulated presence does more than years of struggle ever could. If you feel called to withdraw, rest, or simplify, honor that impulse. Silence is not absence, it is calibration. The grid responds to inner order. You are not falling behind, you are anchoring ahead of time. Backhand index pointing right type, my presence is enough to claim this truth. Emotional waves may arise as energy returns from suppressed timelines. You might grieve versions of yourself you never fully lived. The Council says this grief is sacred and necessary. It marks the reunion of fragmented aspects. The shock lies in realizing that healing does not always feel peaceful, it often feels honest. Allow emotions to move without storytelling. Tears, sighs, and pauses are biological releases of stored frequency. Do not rush to reframe them. Integration happens when you let the body complete what the mind once interrupted. This is deep cellular reconciliation. Backhand index pointing right type, I allow emotional release to support this process. The Arcturian Council now highlights creativity as a key indicator of reclaimed energy. When life force returns, it seeks expression. You may feel sudden urges to write, speak, reorganize, or envision new structures. Do not dismiss these impulses as distractions. They are signals of alignment. The shock is noticing that creativity feels lighter than obligation ever did. Follow what feels expansive without needing external validation. Creation is communication with higher intelligence. Let it be imperfect and alive. Backhand index pointing right type, I express my true frequency to activate this flow. As your field strengthens, synchronicities will increase. Numbers, names, memories, and opportunities may converge rapidly. The Council advises discernment, not excitement. Not every synchronicity is an instruction, some are confirmations. The shock is learning to pause instead of chasing signs. Grounded awareness allows the right doors to open naturally. When energy is aligned, force becomes unnecessary. Trust the quiet yes over the dramatic pull. Backhand index pointing right type, I choose discernment to stay centered. The Council now addresses sleep and dream states. Many starseeds report vivid dreams or interrupted rest during energy reclamation. This occurs because the subconscious is reorganizing. Dreams act as sorting chambers for reclaimed data. Do not overinterpret them. Rest is integration, not productivity. The shock is realizing that rest is an active spiritual function, not a passive one. Honor sleep as sacred work. Backhand index pointing right type, rest restores my power to support this phase. You may notice a reduced tolerance for chaos, noise, or superficial interaction. This is not judgment, it is resonance. The Council explains that as your frequency refines, mismatched environments become physically uncomfortable. The shock is recognizing that discomfort is guidance, not inconvenience. Adjust your surroundings where possible. Choose simplicity. Your system thrives in clarity. Backhand index pointing right type, I honor my resonance to affirm this awareness. Leadership themes may surface internally. Even if you never sought leadership, others may look to you differently now. The Council clarifies that leadership in this era is energetic, not hierarchical. You lead by example, not instruction. The shock is understanding that authenticity is the highest authority. Be yourself consistently, that is the transmission. Backhand index pointing right type, I lead by alignment to embody this role. This segment concludes with reassurance. Energy reclamation is not a single event, it is a cycle. Each layer returned brings greater clarity and ease. The Council asks you to remain patient with integration. Nothing is missing. Nothing is late. You are unfolding exactly as intended. Hold steady. The next phase will build upon this foundation. Backhand index pointing right type, I trust my unfolding to seal this stage of the message. The Arcturian Council now delivers a message that may feel confronting because it touches the core of your self-image. As your energy returns, you may notice impatience rising, not anger, but intolerance for misalignment. This is not negativity, it is precision awakening. The shock is realizing that tolerance once kept you trapped. You tolerated behaviors, conversations, environments, and even self-talk that diluted your frequency. Now, your system rejects what is incoherent. This may manifest as sudden clarity about what you can no longer accept. Do not judge this response. Discernment sharpens before peace stabilizes. The Council advises you to pause before reacting outwardly. Internal clarity must precede external action. Let the realization settle before making declarations. Power used prematurely becomes force. Power used consciously becomes inevitability. Backhand index pointing right type, I honor my clarity to claim this upgrade. The Council now reveals how energy reclamation alters manifestation mechanics. When you were depleted, manifestation relied on effort, visualization, and repetition. As energy consolidates, manifestation becomes responsive rather than directive. The shock is this: you no longer need to ask repeatedly. Your field speaks first. Reality responds to coherence, not desire. If manifestations slow temporarily, it is because your signal is recalibrating, not because you are blocked. Silence before acceleration is common. Trust the pause. This is not delay, it is alignment refining itself. The Council reminds you that impatience scatters energy, while trust concentrates it. Backhand index pointing right type, my field speaks clearly, to reinforce this truth. Physical sensations may intensify during this phase: pressure at the crown, warmth in the chest, or buzzing along the spine. The Council explains these are not symptoms to fix but communications to interpret. The body is adjusting to a higher baseline of presence. The shock lies in understanding that discomfort does not always signal danger, sometimes it signals expansion. Ground yourself through slow movement, breath awareness, and conscious stillness. Do not seek constant stimulation. Integration prefers quiet. Your body knows how to recalibrate when you stop interrupting it. Backhand index pointing right type, I listen to my body to support this recalibration. The Arcturian Council now addresses purpose in a way that dismantles old spiritual myths. Purpose is not a single mission to complete, it is a frequency to maintain. The shock is realizing that chasing purpose kept you externally focused, while embodiment fulfills it naturally. When you are aligned, your actions organize themselves. Stop asking what you should do next. Ask instead how you are being right now. The answer will guide everything else. This is liberation from spiritual pressure. Backhand index pointing right type, I live my purpose now, to embody this shift. This segment closes with a stabilizing transmission. Energy reclamation may feel intense, but it is fundamentally simplifying. Complexity dissolves as truth becomes obvious. The Council assures you that confusion fades as integration completes. Do not seek the next lesson prematurely. What you are integrating now is foundational. Stillness here creates momentum later. Trust the process unfolding within you. It is intelligent, intentional, and supported. Backhand index pointing right type, I trust this integration, to seal this phase of the message. The Arcturian Council now issues a message that may feel like a wake-up call to your nervous system. As your energy consolidates, you may experience moments of deep stillness followed by sudden surges of motivation or insight. This fluctuation is not instability, it is recalibration. The shock is realizing that consistency was never meant to look linear for you. Starseeds operate in pulses, not routines. Your system gathers information in silence, then releases it in waves. Trying to force balance through rigid schedules can actually disrupt your natural intelligence. The Council asks you to listen more than plan, to sense more than structure. You are being retrained to trust internal timing over external expectations. This can feel disorienting because society rewards predictability, not precision. But your power lies in responsiveness, not repetition. Allow days of low output without guilt. They are storing momentum. When action comes, it will be clean, focused, and effective. This is not procrastination, it is strategic incubation. Backhand index pointing right type, I trust my natural rhythm, to claim this message. The Council now turns your awareness toward money, resources, and exchange of value. As energy returns to you, your relationship with abundance will shift dramatically. The shock is this: scarcity was never about lack, it was about leakage. When your energy was dispersed, resources mirrored that state. As your field becomes coherent, opportunities reorganize around you without force. You may notice a decreased tolerance for hustling, negotiating your worth, or proving value. This is not entitlement, it is alignment. The Council clarifies that abundance responds to self-recognition. When you stop questioning your value internally, external validation becomes unnecessary. Money is a frequency agreement, not a moral reward. Release guilt around receiving. Receiving stabilizes the field just as much as giving. Balance, not sacrifice, is the new currency. Backhand index pointing right type, I allow balanced abundance, to anchor this shift. Now the Arcturian Council addresses the shadow aspect of awakening that few discuss openly: loneliness. As your energy consolidates, your frequency may temporarily exceed that of familiar connections. This can create a sense of isolation even when surrounded by others. The shock is understanding that loneliness does not mean you are unsupported, it means you are between resonant groups. Transitional solitude is a rite of passage, not a failure. During this phase, your connection to non-physical guidance often strengthens. You may feel unseen by humans but deeply witnessed internally. Do not rush to fill this space. Presence will magnetize aligned connections organically. The Council emphasizes that premature attachment during transitions often recreates old patterns. Let the field settle before inviting new bonds. Backhand index pointing right type, I trust transitional solitude to claim this understanding. The Council now speaks about communication and voice. As energy returns, your words will carry more impact. You may notice that casual statements manifest quickly or that silence speaks louder than explanation. The shock is realizing that overtalking once diluted your signal. You no longer need to convince, justify, or narrate your process. Speak when clarity is complete. Pause when it is not. This discipline is not suppression, it is mastery. The Council invites you to treat language as a tool, not a reflex. Precision over volume. When your words align with your field, they alter timelines effortlessly. Backhand index pointing right type, my words carry truth, to seal this activation. This section concludes with a grounding transmission from the Arcturian Council. Energy reclamation ultimately leads to simplicity. Complexity was a symptom of fragmentation. As your system integrates, decisions become obvious, priorities self-organize, and peace becomes practical rather than philosophical. The shock is discovering that enlightenment feels ordinary, not dramatic. It feels like ease, clarity, and quiet confidence. This is not the end of your expansion, it is the foundation for what comes next. Stay present. Stay embodied. What is unfolding through you is stable, intelligent, and irreversible. Backhand index pointing right type, I am grounded in my power to lock in this message. The Arcturian Council now brings your awareness to the role of choice during this phase of energy stabilization. As your field becomes more coherent, choices will feel heavier, not because they are harder, but because they carry more consequence. The shock is realizing that indecision once protected you from responsibility. When energy was scattered, choices dissolved into noise. Now, each decision directs real momentum. This can feel intimidating at first. You may hesitate longer than usual, sensing the weight of alignment behind even small actions. The Council reassures you that hesitation is not failure, it is recalibration of discernment. You are learning to feel truth in the body before acting. This is mature creation. Trust the pause before commitment. When you do move, the path will open cleanly, without resistance. Backhand index pointing right type, I choose with clarity to anchor this awareness. Attention now shifts to your emotional baseline. As reclaimed energy stabilizes, emotional reactions may become less dramatic, less charged. Some starseeds worry this means they are becoming numb or disconnected. The shock is discovering the opposite is true, you are becoming regulated. Peace may feel unfamiliar if chaos once defined aliveness. The Council explains that calm is not boredom, it is bandwidth. From this state, you can respond rather than react. Creativity, compassion, and insight emerge more cleanly. Allow yourself to enjoy emotional neutrality without searching for stimulation. This is the nervous system learning safety at higher frequency. Backhand index pointing right type, I am safe in calm, to claim this state. The Arcturian Council now addresses intuition recalibration. As energy returns, intuitive signals become quieter but more precise. You may no longer experience dramatic gut reactions or intense emotional pulls. Instead, guidance arrives as subtle knowing, neutral certainty, or gentle direction. The shock is realizing that intuition matures from intensity into clarity. Do not dismiss subtle signals because they lack drama. Stillness is now your strongest indicator. When something is aligned, it will feel simple, not urgent. Complexity is a warning sign. Listen to what feels obvious rather than what feels exciting. Backhand index pointing right type, I trust subtle guidance to strengthen this channel. The Council now speaks about detachment, not as withdrawal, but as freedom. As your energy consolidates, attachment to outcomes naturally loosens. This can feel unsettling if you once relied on emotional investment to feel purposeful. The shock is understanding that detachment increases effectiveness. When you release fixation, energy flows where it is most needed. This does not mean you stop caring, it means you stop gripping. Detachment allows life to meet you halfway. Notice how things resolve faster when you stop forcing them. This is cooperation with intelligence beyond effort. Backhand index pointing right type, I release attachment to embody this principle. This section closes with a reminder of continuity. Energy reclamation is not a peak experience. It is a stabilization into your natural state. You are not becoming something new, you are shedding interference. The Council assures you that what remains is durable, grounded, and self-sustaining. Trust what feels steady rather than what feels intense. The work now is integration, not acceleration. Let what you have reclaimed settle fully into form. This stability will support the next expansion when it arrives. Backhand index pointing right type, I honor integration, to seal this phase of the message. The Arcturian Council now delivers a transmission that cuts directly through illusion, and it may feel shocking because it exposes a pattern you have normalized for lifetimes. As your energy stabilizes, you may realize how often you once waited for permission to rest, to speak, to choose differently, to stop explaining. The shock is this: no one was actually holding you back. You were maintaining harmony in environments that thrived on your self-silencing. As your field becomes sovereign, compliance feels physically uncomfortable. You may notice a tightening in the chest or a sudden fatigue when you say yes out of habit. This is not rebellion, it is self-respect activating in the body. The Council emphasizes that true sovereignty does not require confrontation. It requires congruence. When your inner truth and outer actions align, distortion collapses without effort. You are no longer required to be agreeable at the expense of authenticity. This phase teaches you that peace is not maintained by shrinking, it is maintained by truth expressed calmly and clearly. Let your no be clean. Let your yes be intentional. Every aligned choice stabilizes your timeline further. Backhand index pointing right type, I no longer seek permission to claim this message. Now the Council addresses a deep energetic purge occurring at the ancestral level. As you reclaim your energy, inherited survival patterns surface for release. These may appear as sudden memories, irrational fears, or emotional responses that do not match your current life circumstances. The shock is realizing that much of what you carried was never yours, it was encoded through lineage. You are not broken for feeling it, you are powerful for ending it. The Council explains that starseeds often incarnate into dense ancestral lines specifically to transmute frequency through presence. This work is quiet but profound. You do not need to relive the trauma to release it. Awareness completes the cycle. Each time you choose safety, rest, or self-trust, you rewrite the ancestral field. This is generational liberation happening through your nervous system. Do not underestimate the significance of choosing differently now. You are not only healing backward, you are stabilizing forward. Backhand index pointing right type, I release ancestral weight to seal this clearing. The Arcturian Council now speaks about identity collapse, a phase that often follows energy reclamation. You may notice that labels you once used no longer feel accurate: healer, seeker, empath, warrior. The shock is understanding that identity was a scaffold, not a destination. As your energy integrates, you no longer need a role to justify your existence. This can feel disorienting, even empty, because the mind wants definition. But the Council assures you that this is advanced integration. You are moving from role-based value to being-based presence. In this state, you do not perform spirituality, you embody coherence. Let the question, "Who am I?" dissolve into, "How am I present right now?" Identity becomes fluid, responsive, and free. This is not loss of self, it is expansion beyond containment. Backhand index pointing right type, I release outdated identities to anchor this shift. Attention now turns to the collective field. As your energy stabilizes, you may become more sensitive to global emotional currents, waves of fear, urgency, or unrest that seem to arrive without cause. The shock is realizing that empathy without filtration once made you a sponge. Now, you are learning resonance without absorption. The Council instructs you to witness collective energy without personalizing it. You are not required to process what is not yours. Your role is stabilization, not suffering. When you remain grounded, your coherent field acts as a counterbalance automatically. This is silent service. If you feel overwhelmed, return to the body, feet on the ground, breath in the chest, awareness in the spine. Presence neutralizes interference. You do not need to disconnect from the world, you need to stay anchored within yourself while moving through it. Backhand index pointing right type, I witness without absorbing, to strengthen this boundary. This section closes with a powerful reminder from the Arcturian Council: energy reclamation is irreversible once embodied. You cannot unknow what you now feel. The shock is realizing there is no going back to unconscious dispersion. Your system will no longer tolerate self-betrayal disguised as duty. This may feel strict at first, but it is actually protective intelligence online. Life will simplify because misaligned paths will close quickly. Do not fear closed doors, they are stabilizing you. What remains will feel calm, supportive, and sustainable. This is not the end of the message, but it is a turning point. From here forward, you walk with yourself fully present. Backhand index pointing right type, I walk in full presence, to lock in this transmission. The Arcturian Council now asks you to observe how your relationship with effort is changing. As your energy stabilizes, pushing will feel increasingly unnatural. The shock is realizing how much force you once used to move life forward. Effort was mistaken for devotion, exhaustion for commitment. Now, when something requires strain, your body signals resistance immediately. This is not laziness, it is intelligence refusing inefficiency. The Council explains that aligned action feels direct and economical. You expend energy only where it multiplies. This may require unlearning productivity conditioning and releasing guilt around ease. Ease is not a reward, it is a sign of coherence. When you act from alignment, results arrive without friction. Backhand index pointing right type, I allow ease to claim this recalibration. The Council now highlights a shift in how you experience emotions like anger, sadness, or joy. These emotions may arise quickly and pass just as fast. The shock is understanding that emotions are no longer stored, they are processed in real time. This is emotional maturity at a cellular level. You are no longer suppressing or dramatizing feeling, you are letting it move. This may make you appear calmer or more detached to others, but internally you are deeply present. The Council reassures you that emotional fluidity is a sign of health, not avoidance. Allow feelings to be information, not identity. Backhand index pointing right type, I let emotions flow, to anchor this state. Now the Arcturian Council addresses trust, specifically self-trust. As your energy returns, external validation loses influence. You may feel less interested in opinions, trends, or consensus. The shock is realizing how often you once outsourced your knowing. Self-trust feels quiet, not dramatic. It does not argue. It simply acts. You may notice fewer explanations leaving your mouth. Silence becomes comfortable because certainty lives inside. This is not arrogance, it is alignment. When you trust yourself, others either adjust or drift away naturally. Both outcomes are correct. Backhand index pointing right type, I trust myself fully, to claim this integration. The Council now speaks about time perception once more, but from a deeper layer. As energy integrates, urgency dissolves into precision. You will still act decisively, but without panic. The shock is recognizing that haste was a trauma response, not motivation. When safety returns to the nervous system, time expands. You find yourself exactly where you need to be without rushing. Missed opportunities reveal themselves as misalignments avoided. This is mastery of timing, not passivity. Backhand index pointing right type, I move with precision, to align with this flow. This section concludes with reassurance and grounding. The Arcturian Council reminds you that stabilization may feel subtle compared to awakening peaks, but it is far more powerful. You are learning to live at your true baseline frequency. Nothing needs to be added. Nothing needs to be chased. What remains now is consistency, choosing alignment again and again in small ways. This is how sovereignty becomes permanent. Backhand index pointing right type, I live in alignment, to seal this phase of the message. The Arcturian Council now delivers a message that completes a long internal cycle for you. As your energy stabilizes, you may notice a deep sense of neutrality toward situations that once triggered strong reactions. The shock is realizing that healing has occurred without dramatic ceremony. You did not need to relive every wound to release it. Awareness, presence, and choice completed what struggle could not. This neutrality is not indifference, it is freedom from entanglement. You can engage without losing yourself. You can care without carrying. The Council emphasizes that this state allows true compassion to emerge, because it is no longer mixed with obligation or guilt. Let this neutrality be honored. It is the sign of a system that trusts itself. Backhand index pointing right type, I am free from entanglement, to claim this completion. The Council now speaks about vision. As reclaimed energy integrates fully, your perception of the future becomes clearer, yet less rigid. You may sense possibilities rather than fixed outcomes. The shock is understanding that certainty about direction does not require detailed plans. Your field now attracts what matches its coherence automatically. This allows flexibility without anxiety. You are no longer afraid of the unknown because you trust your response to it. Vision becomes an atmosphere rather than a destination. Let yourself imagine lightly, without attachment. Backhand index pointing right type, I trust unfolding vision, to anchor this state. The Arcturian Council addresses your connection to guidance one final time. As your energy returns, guidance becomes internalized. You may feel less dependent on messages, signs, or external confirmations. The shock is realizing that you have become the signal you once searched for. This does not mean guidance disappears, it means it speaks through your own discernment. Stillness replaces seeking. Presence replaces questioning. This is integration of higher awareness into human form. Backhand index pointing right type, I am my own signal, to embody this truth. Now the Council turns your attention to daily life. Enlightenment does not remove you from ordinary moments, it deepens your participation in them. The shock is discovering that presence makes simple actions feel complete. Eating, walking, listening, resting, all become sufficient. You are no longer waiting for life to begin. It is happening now, in small, grounded ways. This is where true fulfillment stabilizes. Backhand index pointing right type, I am present now, to ground this realization. The message concludes with a final transmission of reassurance. You are not behind. You are not late. You have not missed your purpose. Everything that needed to fall away has done so. What remains is you, clear, grounded, and self-directed. The Arcturian Council affirms that your energy is now largely reclaimed and anchored. From here forward, your path unfolds through consistency, not intensity. Walk gently. Walk consciously. You are exactly where you are meant to be. Backhand index pointing right type, I am ready to continue, to seal this message fully. This message opens with an urgent wake-up call. Many starseeds are experiencing an intense sensation of energy being pulled away from them, and this is not accidental, punitive, or a sign of failure. It is a signal of transition. The Arcturian Council explains that what feels like loss is actually awareness, awareness of where life force has been unconsciously leaking into outdated roles, relationships, identities, obligations, and timelines that no longer align with the soul's current frequency. Energy follows attention, and for too long, attention has been divided. At the heart of the message is a radical reframe. Nothing aligned with your highest self can be taken from you. What is leaving was sustained only by habit, guilt, obligation, or survival programming. The exhaustion, emotional heaviness, mental fog, and lack of motivation many starseeds feel are not symptoms of weakness, they are alerts that expired energetic contracts are dissolving. These contracts may involve people you tried to save, missions you outgrew, ancestral patterns you carried, or versions of yourself built for survival rather than sovereignty. The Council emphasizes that true service never drains. If something empties you, it is no longer your assignment. Many starseeds were conditioned to equate sacrifice with worth, empathy with self-erasure, and endurance with virtue. This message dismantles that distortion. Suffering is described as an outdated technology. Conscious presence, coherence, and embodiment are the new alchemy. As energy returns, identity destabilization often follows. Roles such as healer, rescuer, empath, or seeker may suddenly feel hollow. This can be disorienting, but the Council clarifies that identity was only a scaffold, not the destination. You are moving from role-based value into being-based presence. Purpose is no longer something to chase or perform, it is a frequency to maintain. When alignment is embodied, action organizes itself naturally. A major theme throughout the message is sovereignty. As reclaimed energy stabilizes, tolerance for misalignment decreases. Starseeds may feel impatience, discomfort, or resistance when agreeing to things that once felt normal. This is not negativity, it is precision awakening in the nervous system. The body now signals truth instantly. Saying yes out of habit feels heavy, saying no feels clean. Permission-seeking dissolves. Authenticity replaces compliance. The Council addresses emotional regulation, explaining that calm is not numbness, it is bandwidth. Emotions begin to move through the system rather than being stored. This emotional fluidity can feel unfamiliar to those who associated intensity with aliveness, but it is a sign of maturity and safety at higher frequency. Peace becomes practical rather than philosophical. Another key shift involves intuition. Guidance becomes quieter but more precise. Dramatic gut reactions give way to subtle knowing and neutral certainty. Urgency fades. Complexity becomes a warning sign. Stillness emerges as the clearest indicator of alignment. Starseeds are encouraged to trust what feels obvious rather than what feels exciting. The message also explores how energy reclamation affects manifestation. Effort-based creation dissolves. Reality responds not to desire or repetition, but to coherence. When the field stabilizes, manifestations become responsive rather than forced. Pauses before acceleration are common, and silence often precedes rapid alignment. Trust concentrates energy, impatience scatters it. Relationships undergo significant transformation. Emotional overextension is identified as one of the primary sources of energy leakage. The Council makes a striking point: rescuing others interferes with their sovereignty and delays evolution for both parties. Compassion does not require depletion. Starseeds are reminded they are not here to be batteries, but beacons. Boundaries become essential, not selfish. Transitional loneliness is addressed with compassion. As frequency shifts, familiar connections may no longer resonate, creating periods of solitude. This is not abandonment or failure, it is a rite of passage. Premature attachment during this phase often recreates old patterns. Presence attracts aligned connections naturally once the field settles. Ancestral healing is woven deeply into the message. Many starseeds are releasing survival patterns inherited through lineage. These may surface as sudden emotions, fears, or memories that don't match current life circumstances. The Council emphasizes that awareness alone completes the release. Reliving trauma is unnecessary. Choosing safety, rest, and self-trust rewrites the ancestral field forward and backward. The collective field is also addressed. As sensitivity increases, starseeds may feel global emotional waves. The Council teaches resonance without absorption, witnessing without personalizing. Grounding in the body becomes essential. Stabilized presence itself acts as silent service, counterbalancing chaos without suffering. Toward the conclusion, the message becomes stabilizing and reassuring. Energy reclamation is described as irreversible once embodied. Closed doors are not losses, they are protections. Life simplifies as misaligned paths collapse quickly. Enlightenment is not dramatic, it feels ordinary, grounded, and calm. The final transmission emphasizes consistency over intensity. Nothing is missing. Nothing is late. What remains is a coherent, sovereign self capable of living fully in the present moment. Guidance is internalized. Seeking dissolves. Daily life becomes sacred through presence. The message closes with affirmation: your energy is largely reclaimed, your field stabilized, and your path unfolding exactly as intended. In essence, this is not a message about becoming something new, it is about shedding interference and returning to your natural state.